section, we will look at how to use the AXE-CLI or the AXE-CLI for checking the accessibility of our web pages. Now, AXE-CLI or AXE command line interface is a command line interface, as it says here, for the accessibility engine. So the accessibility engine is known as AXE-Core, and AXE-CLI, which is what we will be using, is one layer on top of this, and it helps us identify accessibility issues with our pages. So let's see how this can be installed and used. Now, before we go there, we need to understand the philosophy of accessibility core, which is mentioned here. It says that we should be able to achieve digital equality through automated testing, and that it should be easy enough that professional mainstream web developers can adopt this very easily. And AXE-Core lives up to this promise, and AXE-CLI is a wrapper over this and will make our work with AXE-Core even easier. So let's install it here. So I'm going to go to my command line here. Now, to install this, you need to use this command: npm install AXE-CLI -g. So most mainstream developers would understand this command. npm stands for Node Package Manager. So Node.js needs to be installed. Once Node.js is installed, npm command becomes available. And here you are installing AXE-CLI through the npm install command, and -g will install it globally for you. So you will be able to access it from any project in your application. So you take this command, you copy it, or you just type it whichever way: npm install AXE-CLI -g. I'm going to paste it here. And it's going to install it. After this is installed, now AXE-CLI is ready to be used. So let's look at how to use this command line interface. And for this, we will test the accessibility of this page, google.com. So if we go to google.com, and if you want to test the accessibility of this page, what we will do is we'll use the following command: x, which starts this AXE-CLI, the URL of the page that we are trying to test, the timeout, so that we can increase the timeout if, say, the page was more complex. In this case, it's not. But if you are testing a page which had lots of elements, then you could increase the timeout. The save option saves the results of this AXE file in a file called results.json. You can rename this to anything you want. And this is the important thing. This tags option tests using what kind of tags do you want, and here we are going to use the WCAG28 tags. So the WCAG2 will look at the Web Accessibility Initiative guidelines using the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines version 2.0. That is what we will be testing here. So with this, we will run this command here, like so. And immediately we get certain violations. So the AXE engine has detected certain violations and it has displayed these. Now, if you did not want to look at this at the command line, then we had saved our file. We had saved this output to this file called results.json, which is right here. Now you can open results.json in any text editor. I'm using Sublime Text. This again is not easy to be read. So what we could do is we could paste this into and I already done this. We can paste this into any other JSON editor which has better JSON reading capabilities, and now we can better understand the output. The output is of several JSON attributes, but we are mostly interested in the JSON attribute which says violations. And if we were to open this, then it will suggest, or it will point out all the violations for accessibility, all the A11 violations based on the WCAG2 guidelines, based on these guidelines here. So it is checking against. It will point out these violations and tell us whether the violations are moderate or whether they are, in some cases, the violations may not be moderate, they may be of a higher impact. And it will tell you the description of what went wrong. Here, images, it seems, here one image does not have an alternate text. And per WCAG guidelines, this is a critical violation. So it will tell us these things. And it will also tell us the help URL, where if we were to click this, then it will give us a detailed description. So as you can tell, this is a pretty powerful tool to test a web page for accessibility violations or for improving accessibility of a web page. It needs to be understood that here the X engine will only test a given page. So in this case, it will only test the page pointed to by google.com. It will not click on, it will not auto click links which may be on page and go further down. Thank you.